see, Cap, that's his secret. He's always, seeing ghosts. He's a mean green fighting machine, and there's a lot more to this Marvel hero than just smashing stuff. Though admittedly, that is a huge part of his MO. The Incredible Hulk is already known as one of the strongest heroes in the Marvel Universe. But there are several powers and abilities that you may be unaware that this green monster possesses. Let's put the brain and the brawn together and take a look right now. This one is a power I too once had in my life from approximately the ages of 4 to 11-ish. That power is the ability to eat anything and everything and somehow still go for a run right after. Mind-boggling. Today I eat a cupcake and that's the end of my night. The most interesting part of this mildly hilarious power is that the Hulk doesn't actually need to eat anything. Much like Superman, whose energy comes from solar radiation instead of food, the Hulk is constantly fueled by his gamma-irradiated cells. Therefore, he doesn't actually need to eat, but will either for pleasure or the occasional gag of seeing the enormous Hulk eating a chicken leg. The Hulk is so durable, however, and it clearly stretches to his stomach, as he can literally eat not only the meal, but the plates, table, and refrigerator without any issues if he truly wanted. There's a lot of things that would wound or even end the life of a normal person that the Incredible Hulk is simply immune to. These include but are not limited to falling from helicopters, confinement by shirts, and interestingly, viral diseases. I mean, are you surprised? Just picture it. Tony says, "Guys, where is Bruce? Loki's about to destroy New York again." Cap then says, "Wait, he's texting me now. Oh, he says he's not feeling too well and needs a sick day." The Hulk is truly immune to most, if not all, diseases. One of the most impressive showings of this feat was when the Hulk resisted the spores called spikes in Planet Hulk. These spikes use these spores to infect people, and then take away their free will. The Hulk's metabolism is so supercharged that his body fought the infection faster than the infection could spread. Do you really think Thor called dibs on all thunder and thunder-adjacent powers? While truthfully, he does have most of those, the Hulk has an insane power you may have even seen before, but didn't know it had a name. This crazy power is called the Thunderclap. Hulk is so strong that clapping his hands together creates such a sonic shockwave that it can knock enemies completely off their feet. The Hulk actually used this power in 2008's The Incredible Hulk. You know, back when he looked way more like Edward Norton. When a run of flame was headed straight for the crashed helicopter that Betty was in, the Hulk used the Thunderclap to create such a strong gust of wind that the flames were extinguished. A clap that powerful also probably completely deafened his girlfriend, which is probably why we haven't seen her since.
Other guy says...
No, I know what this looks like, but I promise, that's Bruce Banner, not Princess Fiona. Bruce is known for transforming into an uncontrollable rage monster when he loses his temper. However, there are some iterations of the Hulk whose transformation shares a weird amount in common with a werewolf. Only instead of a full moon, it's simply the night sky.
Hulk, always Hulk.
In The Incredible Hulk issue 368, the Hulk begins to emerge every night as soon as the sun goes down. This version of the Hulk was more aware, but still capable of flattening tanks. It was theorized that the Hulk had actually gained control over Banner, but was ashamed for the world to see him. Therefore, he could control when the transformation from Bruce to Hulk happened, but he chose to wait until the cover of Nightfall. Remember when you were a kid and your older sister would threaten to punch you into the next dimension? No, was that just me? Anyway, that was all talk. However, if the Incredible Hulk was making that threat, I would be slightly more afraid of a guy who can back it up. Kind of like how Ultron smashed his way through that glass dimensional wall to get to the Watcher's house, Hulk has shown the same strength that literally allows him to punch through dimensions. This seems like it might be a pretty useful power to unleash in the MCU, now that Kang is coming, and Wanda will likely try to trap everyone in a New Jersey suburb again.
Next time, knock. What do you want?
Every muscle in Hulk's body is superior to just about anyone. This, of course, includes his calves, which are genuinely larger than entire bovine creatures. The perfection of performance that the Hulk's body grants him gives him peak performance in certain areas. Running and jumping are definitely two of these. Now, of course, we know the Hulk can run, and jump, and smash. However, what you may not know is that the Hulk can leap from continent to continent over entire oceans. Take that, Amelia Earhart. He also can reach superhuman levels of speed. He probably couldn't catch the Flash or Quicksilver, but some other heroes like Cap and Black Panther likely lose every time. This makes sense considering his legs are basically powered by jet engines. The Incredible Hulk truly has earned that name. For years, he has been secretly harboring powers that other characters think make them special. He was probably just trying to be polite. The Hulk has fought Namor the Submariner on numerous occasions. Whether it be during Namor's time with the Illuminati, or even more interestingly, way back in 1963 when Hulk revealed a slightly helpful power on Namor's home turf. Hulk can literally breathe underwater. Not only is his lung capacity so large to hold his breath, but he supposedly has an extra gland that produces oxygen. That plus the strength to survive the intense pressure of the deep basically makes the Hulk worthy of challenging for the throne of Atlantis. The Hulk is more than just a giant wrecking ball. He is actually extremely complex and was given several abilities throughout his accident, as well as gained some others along the way. When Bruce finally defeated his father, he worried that the Maniac may come back from beyond the grave to attempt to settle the score. As a preemptive measure, Bruce gave the Hulk the ability to see ghosts. How? Science, or whatever. Regardless, the Hulk has since had an air of mysticism surrounding him, as he can see members of the undead and even converse with some. He also has the ability to see sorcerers like Doctor Strange in their astral form. This has yet to be teased in the MCU, but just imagine Bruce having another conversation with his late friend Tony. In the admittedly paraphrased words of one Nicholas Joseph Fury, "Hulk, please, you've been to space." The Incredible Hulk has the ability to survive in conditions that would destroy other living creatures. This includes possibly the most dangerous environment of them all, the void of space. His healing and strength protects him from the vacuum-like pressure, and as seen with his underwater capabilities, his lung capacity can store plenty of air to keep him alive. In fact, because the Hulk gets stronger as long as he gets angrier, let's just say being in space really ticks him off. This next unknown power reveals an extremely interesting inner working of the Hulk's mind.
Shut the front door.
Obviously, Bruce suffers from a bit of a personality disorder to say the least. However, while we know about Bruce and the big green guy, there is said to actually be other facets of Bruce's personality that lay deep below the surface. Because of this, the head of the Hulk contains a mind so complex that he is even able to resist mind control. Even the strongest telepaths like Professor X can't crack the thick-headed skull of the Incredible Hulk, because they simply don't know which mind is the one they need to control. This next one is less of a power and more of a side effect that happens to have insane consequences.
Just wasn't expecting a code green.
After becoming completely drunk with gamma radiation, Bruce transformed into the hulking green monster, which he tried to tame for years. Little did he know that in this same moment he gained the power to give others the same or similar fates. Bruce Banner's blood is also irradiated with gamma radiation, which could be very dangerous. Heck, it made Stan Lee drop his soda. This dangerous blood has been used to unintentionally create other Hulks. The most famous example is Jennifer Walters, Bruce's cousin, better known as She-Hulk. When Jennifer was shot by a mob boss, Bruce transfused his Hulk blood into her to save her life. Because their DNA closely matched, Jennifer became the iconic heroine, capable of smashing stuff with the best. Fun trivia question. What color was the Hulk when he first appeared back in 1962?
Green.
No, not green, you're wrong. He was gray. Eventually, Bruce dosed himself with more and more gamma radiation to mutate himself even further, turning himself into the green monster we know and love. The truth is that gray characters were not the most well-printed visual aspects and they just needed to change it up. However, Grey Hulk would eventually return as a separate personality of Bruce called Joe Fixit. He wore a suit. It was crazy. The Hulk has also been known to change color when his power level changes, like when he became the World Breaker Hulk. We have talked a lot about Hulk's lung capacity, so of course this guy has super breath. Granted, he doesn't have quite the mastery over it that someone like Superman has, seeing as he has yet to freeze anyone, but he has been able to knock down entire forests and create tornado-level winds with a powerful exhale. In an issue of The Incredible Hulk, Hulk and She-Hulk went up against a villain called the Arsenal. This villain released a poisonous gas that could have ended the life of Jennifer Walters, had Bruce not been there to display his super breath and blow the gas away. Just listen to that last sentence again. Comics are wacky, man. Wolverine, Sabretooth, Deadpool, what do they all have in common? No, besides their recent move to the House of Mouse.
Dobbs, get me out of here, please!
They have some of the greatest regeneration powers in the Marvel Universe. Wolverine can heal from an atomic bomb, and Deadpool can regrow his entire lower half.
Oh no, they're right here!
The Incredible Hulk, though granted through radiation and not mutation, definitely shares some of these abilities. He can completely regrow tissue in seconds, allowing severe wounds to heal very quickly. In the comics, this is definitely not a well-known fact, and in the MCU, it may not even be totally true. The Hulk still has a scar from his fight with Abomination and the Incredible Hulk. And in What If, the Hulk straight up exploded. Granted, that's not the easiest thing to heal from, but hey, Deadpool did it. Have you ever heard of secondhand smoke? How about secondhand gamma radiation poisoning? Hulk is essentially a walking ball of gamma radiation. And I know that worked out for Bruce, but I promise that exposure to that stuff rarely goes that well. This power has been used against him by characters who can absorb energy, and he has even been turned back into Bruce at times because of this. However, against other villains, all he would really have to do is sit in a room with them, and they should definitely immediately head to a doctor afterwards. They don't call him Incredible for nothing. You might think of him as a show-off, but the Hulk definitely has several tricks up his sleeve that he chooses to keep more hidden. Which of Hulk's surprising powers do you think is the most useful?